Hi guys, it's Dan here from Survive the Wild. Come out again here today. We're going to do a solo night out. Promises hopefully to be a good night. Come back to the spot that I have been coming to. I've sort of decided this is going to be like a bit of a bug out area for me. But it's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon now. I've got about 4.5 hours before the sun sets, and I've got quite a few things to do, like get the firewood. I want to try and make a few things like a fire reflector and put a few little screens up around if I can. But yeah, it promises to be a really good night tonight because it's the Persian meteor shower. There's a little spot just a bit down there where there's a bit of a clearing, so hopefully you know, might be able to get some footage. Not might be able to do a bit of starlight photography. We'll try. Anyway, I'm going to crack on. I'm going to go over there, start collecting some firewood and bits and bobs. So, yeah, busy few hours ahead. Okay, so I've just come across a load of some pre-cut timber here, which is all really straight. It's all silver birch, and some of this is going to be perfect for what I plan to do. So I build a couple of walls and stuff. Great find, and only about 20 yards from where I'm camping. I think somebody had maybe tried setting up another like camp. They cut down some birch. I've got a feeling it was living when they cut this down, so not a great way to go about it. I mean, there's definitely 3 trees here, you know. So, but somebody's already cut it down for a purpose. It's not being used. I'm going to use it now. It's like I don't particularly like cutting down living trees unless, you know, I really have to. And even when I do, you know, I do it very sensitively. I do it in a way that tree's probably going to have a good chance of regenerating. But I'm going to utilise this while it's here, and I'm going to build a bit of a fence. You know, I'm going to start coming here a few bits, coming here a few times, and yeah, so like try and sort a bit of a camp out. But I've got to bear in mind that, you know, other people are going to walk through here. They might come across this, and you know, they might trash it. So, you know, I've always got to keep that in mind, that if I come back and it's been trashed, it's been trashed. You know, it's not something that has any monetary value. Yeah, I've put some time and effort into it, but it's just one of those things. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna start cutting this into lengths, and then yeah, start getting it sorted out. So. Two poles. So I've now got my 4 poles, and these are going to make up my fire reflector. These are going to support all the timber that will go in to that. A fire reflector is basically sort of like what it sounds like. It's your bills basically, effectively it's a wall, and you have your fire in front of that, and it sort of reflects some of the heat back in towards your direction. I would, I'd try and put one in a direction of where the wind will be coming, so it sort of shelters your fire a little bit. Today the wind seems to be varying from there through to about there, so I'll probably put it somewhere in front that way. It's about an average, or I might try and sort of like angle it a bit, but I'm still going to do a couple of little bits to these pieces of wood, and for that I'm going to need the axe. So yeah, axe. This will be the first time you've seen me use an axe. I used to have one a while ago. It disappeared. Don't know quite how. This has been gifted to me. It is a I can't pronounce this. It's one of those words. It's easy, but Hultenfords. Huntulfords. Yeah, one of those. Huntulfords. It's made in Sweden. Well, it's a Swedish hand-forged carbon-ish steel blade. It came fairly sharp. I've put a bit of an extra edge on it, because it wasn't sharp enough for my liking. I prefer it so it's, I can shave with it. So yeah, I've just made a couple of mods to it. I've just put like a little lanyard on the bottom there, so so I can hang it easy enough, and I've put a leather guard here, which is just a bit of old boot leather, and I made myself a belt strap for it, so I can hang it off my belt. Anyway, I'm going to test it out. I'm just going to do a couple of little cuts, because on the bottom of them posts just need to put like a bit of a spike so we can then hammer it into the ground nice and easily. Okay, so it's the first time I'm going to use this axe. I'm not going to go into axe safety too much. I'll probably do a separate video on that. But oh, that cuts nicely, that does. Oh, could probably even make fire feathers with it. That's effectively what we want. So get that bit off there. Yeah. It's got. Oh. The only other thing I want to do, sort of like to these posts right now, is I want to taper the edges a little bit, so when I hit them they don't mushroom out. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to taper off the ends with my knife. Now when I hit them into the ground with the back of the axe, that'll stop them from like mushrooming out when you hit something. So like that. I'm just going to do that with the others. See? No mushrooming whatsoever. When you put your second post in, this is for your firewall. You want to make sure there's going to be enough space down here to slot your logs in. So I'd give it about 4 inches. Bingo. Okay, so I've pretty much done the heat reflector. Basically, all you do is, like you saw me put the posts in either side, and you just stack some like partly rotten punky wood, stuff that's lying around the ground that's going to be wet. I mean, it's actually pretty damn dry because I think we've had about maybe a few hours of rain in the last month, so everything's pretty dry. So I'm going to have to make sure I clear all this off the ground, all this leaf litter, before I actually start a fire. The other thing I've done is I've made started a bit of like a wall that side. The wind predominantly now is coming up this way, so it seems to have settled into a direction. So I'm going to get some bracken now, and I'm just going to cut that, drape it over, and it makes a bit of a screen as well. So that's going to be the next thing. Time's getting on as well, it's about 6:30 already. I got here about 4. The thing with filming is it takes like twice as long to do like these tasks, you know, you're setting up the camera, trying to get the shots and stuff. So you're having to think about not just about what you're doing, but also filming as well at the same time. But you know, it's not a problem. That's why I'm out here doing this and filming it for you guys as well. So but yeah, you're probably wondering why I haven't actually set up my sleeping arrangements yet. You know, my tarpaulin hammock. I'm going to leave that until the last minute, just in case that somebody does stumble across me here and I have to move on. I don't have permission to be in these woods. It is very, I mean, some people out there are lucky, you know, they've got, you know, they know a landowner, they've got permission to be in woodlands. I'm looking for someone at the moment, so if there's anyone in the South Yorkshire area, particularly anywhere near like the southern end of the South Yorkshire area, or like Peak District, North Derbyshire, North East Derbyshire, that's got some woodland that's happy to let me use it for, particularly for the videos and stuff, that'd be great, get in touch. But at the moment I don't. So these woodlands, I'm pretty close to a city-ish. I'm not, you know, far enough away. People do come into these woods, not too much, you know, you don't get that many people in here. I've seen one person today that was down, there's a path that's about like 70 yards, 80 yards that way. And that's about the first person I've seen here in about 4 or 5 times of coming here. So, you know, it's a troddenish path, you know, people do walk up and down it, enough for there to be a path that's trodden, or well trodden. But yeah, so yeah, I haven't, so that's the reason why I sort of haven't set up stuff yet, just in case somebody does come along. I'm going to leave that till pretty much last. So, but yeah, next step is to try and get this wool thing up. I think I'm going to try and find a bit more firewood and then start getting that processed. And then we'll see. I'm not going to light a fire until it's pretty much dark. This is stealth wild camping, so you know, I don't want to advertise I'm here by giving a nice big smoke signal when I get that fire going to start with, because it will be a bit smoky. They always are. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to shut up now and I'm just going to go back here and collect some bracken. Right, a useful tip if you're pulling up bracken, and if you haven't got gloves, I've done this more than once and I've done it on green and dead. The edges get pretty sharp, and when you're pulling it, I've sliced into my fingers quite a few times now. So use your knife. Pretty easy to cut, but it's just a better way of doing it. You know, you're less likely to get an injury that way. You know, it's easy to get cut infected. So yeah, just a much better, I think it's a much better way of doing it. Oh, and if you're worried about me taking, you know, I'm taking living stuff, bracken has a habit of taking over areas, so thinning it out is actually quite a good thing. I used to do this a lot with the Wildlife Trust. So I'm just going to get a few bits more, I'm not going to get a great deal more, and then we'll take it back to camp. So pretty much all I'm going to do is I'm just going to just fold these in ish, flame over, just bend a good bit over and just drape them over. Doesn't have to be neat. I'm going to be amazed how much camouflage this will give you. And also help the wind stay out. But yeah, it'll also help cut some of the wind out. That's what its main purpose is. Anyway, you get the gist. Might have to get a little bit more anyway, so I'll be back in a bit. Okay, so it's about 7 o'clock now. I've done the sort of like camouflage stroke windshield I've just switched the GoPro for now, just to save a bit of battery on the DSLR, 'cause I've already used one battery. The other battery wasn't quite as charged as what I thought it was. Should have checked it really before I came out, schoolboy error. So yeah, that bit of wood there, that's been stood upright for ages, so that's going to be bone dry inside. It's been bone dry, and then I've got that, so I've got a fair amount of firewood. I've got, you know, there's other bits and bobs that's going to be around here that I can easily pick. There's some up there I can see that's standing up, leaning up against a tree. So I think that's going to be my next job. We want to sort my firewood out, and then I'm going to get the hammock and the tarp up, I think, and then sit and chill for a bit. I think just try keep on having to spray myself. Mozzies have got, as soon as I sit still for 5 or stand still for 5 seconds, even with the DEET on, the Jungle Formula bug spray, I'd want to actually pull it off my finger. The type of mosquitoes that I'm noticing that are around here are like the zebra mosquitoes, pretty big, and they're super annoying. But you're out in the wild, you're gonna, you know, these are the things you've got to live with, you've got to encounter, you've got to accept. You're in there, you know, this is their world. You just do what you can to stay away. I mean, once they've got a fire going, smoke from that should deter them. But until then, yeah. So yeah, now it's time to get some firewood cut up and processed. Feels a bit damp on the inside of this. Then again, it's silver birch. Okay, so I've got my wood sorted out. That'll be the first part. That's like a nest, really thin birch twigs. Sort of like next step, pencil-sized twigs, and then a bit thicker, and then we can start getting sort of like fuel on. So it's about it's almost 8 o'clock, so it's probably about another hour of decent light, so I'm probably going to get my tarp set up now. Keep hearing these bangs, they sound very much like shotgun shots going off, sort of in that direction. I wouldn't have thought they were, but well, keep an ear out anyway for it. So but yeah, my next step now is I'm going to get the tarp and hammock up. Well, I finally got my fire going. It's got dark enough now. In fact, you'll have to excuse the image, it's going to be a bit grainy, but yeah. So I'm just going to get this to a point where I've got a nice bed of embers. I'm just going to stick my billy can on top of it, warm up some water, and get some couscous on the go. I'm hungry, but I need to get a nice bed of embers first. So I've got plenty of wood to get me through the night, and yeah, I mean my top is straight above my head here. I'm not going to have the flames that high where, you know, it's going to lick the top or melt it or anything like that. So yeah, just try and keep the fire tidy, clear the ground around. Just gotta, you know, make sure I keep an eye on things, especially this back of the fire reflector. I mean, you can really feel it sort of like coming back off here. But yeah, get a nice bed of embers going, get the billy can on, like I say. Whoa, get some food in me. Nice smoke, get rid of all the mosquitoes. But yeah. Oh. Should be a good night. Heard smells already. Yeah. Okay, so I've had my dinner. I'm just going to chill out by the fire now. I was going to watch the Perseid meteor shower, but it's pretty much done what it did last night, clouded over. So I don't think we're going to get to see any shooting stars this evening, which is a shame. It's supposed to be the best one as well. I don't know. We'll keep an eye out, see. But for now, I'm just going to drink this beer. This is a Badger's Thirsty Ferret, chill out by the fire, and then I think I'll probably get in the old sleeping bag. Woo, that's warm. Yeah. Anyway, catch you later. Oh man. Oh. Well, slept reasonably alright. It's about 8:30. I did have to get up in a couple of times in the night to go for a pee, but you always do when you're out. Had to rearrange the sleeping mat. It did make a big difference. It made me a lot more warmer from underneath. So I think the only thing with hammocks is from underneath you'll tend to feel the cold, but tricky little things I think in hammocks seems to grip onto the surface really well. So it's getting it so it covered my back and stuff was really awkward. I got a bit cheesed off with it at one point in the night, so I ended up like getting up, pulling it. Because at first I had it inside my sleeping bag, which works really well in terms of positioning down here with my feet and stuff, but I just couldn't get it in the right place around my back. That, and I'm a bit wider than it as well across the shoulders, so I ended up pulling it out and then managed to get it into a reasonably sort of position. So it wasn't too bad after that. Yeah, the fire sort of that went out fairly quickly. I think with birchwood, it just, yeah, it burns quickly. You don't get a really good bed of embers with it that lasts a long time. But yeah, so not gonna bother with any breakfast this morning. Well, yeah, excuse me yawning. Oh, so yeah, it didn't rain last night, but about I woken up. I thought it was raining. It was actually dew falling off the leaves above me. So the tarps are wet, pretty wet. So I'm gonna have to wait a little bit for that to dry before I pack up. But I can't wait too long. 'Cause I've got to head back soon and go and meet my girl, my daughter, in town. So yeah, and I need to have a shower and stuff before that, because obviously I'm going to stink of smoke. It changed. And it'll take me a good hour to get home. So man. But yeah, I'd certainly had a good, probably slept about maybe 6 hours, which for me is pretty good actually. So yeah, it's just now a case of packing up and heading off out of here. So I'll say me goodbyes. So anyway, thanks again for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hello to all the new subscribers. Thank you ever so much for subscribing, and everyone who has subscribed so far. I really appreciate it. Coming up to nearly the first 100 subscribers, which is fantastic. Might do a little bit of a giveaway soon, which I'll let you know about that at some point, probably in the next video. Maybe I'll just do a little video for it. Yeah. Could probably do another hour. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.